Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make Play-Doh. Play-Doh is a very valuable tool that we will be using a lot. You can either buy some or you can make some, and your student can participate in making it. So let's go ahead and get started. Everybody should have this recipe that was in your black sensory folder. And you should have flour, salt, cream of tartar, water, vegetable oil, and hopefully some food coloring. So the first thing you're going to do, it says stir together the flour, salt, and cream of tartar in a large pot. Okay, so this is a nice large pot, I think. We're going to use this. And here's my measuring cup, and I'm going to measure out 2 cups of flour. Now, this is an opportunity for your child to learn how to do this, so they can either take a tablespoon and scoop it from the bag until they get to the top. It's just a great way for them to practice these things so they can become independent. And I'm almost at 2 cups, almost 2 cups. You can see the line that says 2 cups. And let's see how that looks. You should be able to see a line for 2 cups on your measuring, and you're just going to go there, right at that line. You're not going to go all the way to the top for two cups. It's right there for this type of thing. So we're going to pour this into the big pot. Now we're going to measure out our salt. And that is 3/4 of a cup. So let's see if I can find that on my cup. 3/4 of a cup. It's right there. So I'm going to pour this until I get to that line. Be a fun one for them to try to do. A little more. And 3/4 cups. Pour it in. 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Okay, so let's talk about teaspoons and tablespoons. This is a tablespoon. This is a teaspoon. They'll ask for tablespoons or teaspoons usually, so we're using a teaspoon for this one. And we're going to take 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. I'm going to have to open the lid up so that I can get more than just a sprinkling of it. So I'm taking the lid off. And 4 teaspoons cream of tartar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we're going to stir together the flour, salt, and cream of tartar in a large pot. So you have all of your dry ingredients there, flour, salt, and cream of tartar, and you're going to stir it. Take a nice big spoon. I'm going to stir it all up. So you can get a little step ladder of some kind for your child if you feel comfortable having them participate in the part where it's on the stove. Sometimes people, I like to have them put their hand behind, one hand behind their back and have their dominant hand be the one that can be helping with the stirring. Or they can just watch, whatever you feel like is appropriate for your kid. So let's go ahead. Now they're asking for 2 cups lukewarm water. What do they mean when they say lukewarm water? Well, it's not cold and it's not hot and it's not really warm. It's lukewarm. It's kind of in between cool and warm. Okay, 2 cups of that, 2 cups of lukewarm water, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, tablespoon, okay, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Now, you can either add your color at this point, if you want to pick one color. If you want to do more than one color, we have another process for that at the end, so you could split this up and create different colors. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But if you want to just do one color, this is the point where you add some food coloring, and then you're just going to add as much as you need until you get to the right hue that you like. So now we've got everything in there, and I'm going to turn on my heat on medium. And I'm going to start stirring. And what's going to happen is you stir constantly, so you're stirring all the time. You're stirring all the time. If you get tired, have somebody else take a turn. And then you're going to cook it, and you're going to continue until the dough has thickened and begins to form a ball. And when that happens, you're going to remove it from heat. So when we get to that point with mine, I will show you what it looks like. It's already starting to thicken. You can see it's starting to stick to the pot a little bit on the edges. And you gotta keep stirring. Don't do too hot, stay on medium, it just takes a little time. And you can tell it's getting thicker. So you're starting to get thicker. Now the thing about Play-Doh that's great is there's just so many different activities that we're going to do with Play-Doh, and it just helps with so many different, has so many different benefits, which I'll spell out when I start recording my Play-Doh sensory video. And I'll tell you all about the benefits of it, but first of all, it's just fun. Another thing you can put in here is essential oils. If you want to put like peppermint or lavender or something like that, this is the time when you'd put that in too. Oh, it's starting to thicken. Keep on stirring. It's hard to stir, I don't know why. Goes. Starting to get really thick now. My arm and my hand are very tired. Hopefully you have a few people helping with this. taking turns with the stirring. Or just do it yourself. And it's starting to really thicken up, and once it starts to create a ball, make sure all that gets in. This is the hardest part. So, starting to really stick together now. And once it does that, once it creates sort of a ball like this, you see that? And then I'm going to remove it from the heat, turn off the heat, remove from heat, and then place inside a gallon-sized bag or onto wax paper and allow it to cool. I'm going to just let this sit in this pot for a minute and then put it in this bowl. It should all sort of be one big blob now. Just scrape out the rest, stick it on there. It's kind of a workout, right? All right, so now you should have something that looks kind of like this, and we're going to let it cool, and then we're going to knead it. I'll show you what that is, and then we will go about coloring it. So let's let that cool off a little bit. One thing you can do is spread it out so it cools off faster. So I have 4 kinds of food coloring. I'm going to show you what to do next. I want to make all 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out 4 Ziplocs like this. And I'm going to divide this into 4s. And I'm going to create, you probably want to let it cool more than this amount of time, but because it might be a little hot for little hands still. So you're going to have your student, once it's cooled down really good, you're going to have them divide it into however many colors you want it to be. If it's 3, if it's 4, maybe I'll do 3. So 1, well, I can do 4. So I'll show you what to do. Now you've got your nice Play-Doh-Ball, 4 of them, right? And you're going to put them in the Ziploc, and you're going to drop in, start with 10 drips. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, that takes a lot of motor planning. And we're going to mix it around. This way you're not getting it all over your hands either. It's kind of fun too for the kids. They get to swish it around. And looks like I'm going to need more food coloring. I'm just going to squirt it in. This kind does not drip very well. It squirts better though. And here we go again. There we go. And keep doing that until it's all smooth. And voila! You have 4 different nice balls of Play-Doh. And I will be posting a big video on all the different things you can do with Play-Doh and how it benefits your kid. All right? Awesome.